All right, video 2 on Hacker's homeschool art class. So your first assignment was your value scale practices. Depending on if you had a printer or not, you either made your own or you filled in the sheet that I gave you. Hopefully it went pretty well, and now you know what hatching, scumbling, cross-hatching, stippling, and kind of shapes are when you're drawing with a pen. Your next assignment is going to be to put it all together in this kind of like abstract field where all those techniques kind of mix together. So I took a picture of this. I'm going to post this example on Classroom. And now I'm going to switch to my table view, do some drawing with you, talk about the techniques, and talk about pens again. Okay, so I forgot to talk about something, and I did post it on the stream too. A lot of you have been asking about due dates. So for this one, I put a due date as next Monday. This project should take you a while. Like, I really don't expect most of you to finish it in a day. Some of you might, but it should take a chunk of time. And like, it's hard for everybody to get a schedule going. But even like with my own kids, we're trying to create like chunks of time in every day, kind of like you have with your school. So like we do PE time for a little bit. Ben just did some math time, and in a little bit here, he's gonna have some art time. So I don't know about your patience, but what I would say is just try to designate maybe like a half hour to art class, and then just get as much as you can done. And if it takes you a whole week to finish it, it's totally fine. I just don't want you to rush through it. So try to do a good job and make it look really nice and neat rather than going fast and feeling rushed. So if you need more time, let me know. The due dates that I put into there aren't supposed to be like, have it done by this day. So be patient, try to do good work. Okay, so let's talk about paper first. Again, any paper that you have is fine. I had this big sheet of like drawing paper. I did my practice work on this side. I'm going to do some sketching on this side of it. So any paper you have is totally fine. Notebook paper, printer paper. And again, any pens you have are fine too. So I found a couple more. I've got my blue ballpoint. I forgot some of these kind of like colored markers. I would pick like 2 or 3 of them because it does look pretty good if you switch colors. I'll show you some examples. This one I did is blue and red ballpoint pen mixed together. This one is, I think it's like a fine liner pen. And I think that's it. I think it's only one type of pen on this one. This one is a mixture of 3 pens. This one's got black ballpoint pen, blue ballpoint pen, and fine liner pen in some of these parts too. So let's just talk about what we're trying to do. We're trying to combine all of our techniques together on one page. So essentially you're going to fill this whole piece of paper, whatever paper you have, with the different techniques that we practice. So let's kind of go through some of them. Here we've got cross hatching kind of fading out. This area here is hatching. We've got our shapes kind of bundled up in this area, expanding out. This whole area is cross hatched. There's a bunch of stippling through here. And then I switched to hatching, cross hatching. Here's a section of scumbling all the way through. Cross hatching here, shapes, scumbling, cross hatching, really small cross hatching. So you can see it's basically just kind of mixing through all these techniques. So let's do an example. All right, so I think I'm ready to start. I picked out the pens that I liked. I did some little doodles on here, tried them out. I've got 2 ballpoint pens. One's black, one's blue, and I found 2 of these roller ball pens. One's blue, and one's a bit more purple or violet. So usually when I describe this project, I talk about expanding and contracting. So usually when I start, I just kind of pick a point and a technique to start. So I like scumbling a lot, so maybe let's just pick a spot. And what I'll do is I'll start building up those little bundles of lines super, super tight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start moving out from that point. So I'm expanding my scumbling marks in a direction, gradually getting a little bit bigger, and maybe I'll start getting big really fast. And maybe I'll just do like something like that. And I'm going to hold it up to show you. So I picked a point, and it's kind of a fade, right? Picked a point, and I'm expanding my lines out, so then it ends. And then this is where you pick another technique. So I kind of wrote some notes here. I've got my things here. Let's do some hatching. So maybe right on this edge right here where I stop, I'll start doing some hatching lines. And maybe in the beginning I'll just make them all the same. I'm going to hold that up for you. Some hatching marks. Maybe what I'll start doing is moving off of that line out into the white space. And maybe I'll do like another fade. So again, the space between my lines increases as I move away. So there. Let's try another technique. Maybe I'll take that same point, and this time I'll expand from that point with shapes. Let's just do some circles. So I'll do really tiny circles all piled up. And a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. Maybe I'll start putting a gap between them. Maybe I'll do some really big ones. Really big circle. There we go. So again, I've got this point of contraction or expansion, however you want to think about it. Maybe this is a good time for me to switch pens. Let's go to my blue ballpoint pen. And now I've got this kind of little funnel here in the middle. I think what I'm going to do is start doing some hatching and maybe cross hatch it. So I'll go from this point out. Some expanding lines. Almost like a burst pattern from that point. And then I'm going to cross hatch it. I'll hold it up again so you can see. So now I'm going to cross it. And if you worked on your fade, I'm going to make this one expand. So when I cross hatch it, I'm making the distance between those lines a little bit bigger each time. Maybe I'll just put a big line like that. So now it's kind of expanding that way. Maybe I'll double up. Maybe I'll do some scumbling with my blue pen on this part. So I'll keep scumbling here with my ballpoint. And I'm going to keep expanding this way. And I'm going to keep doing it. Maybe I'll do it all the way across my paper. And this time, so we've got one point of contraction. Maybe what I'll do is, because I expanded over here with my scumbling, maybe what I'll do is I'll make like a little bundle here back small again. So now I've got 2 points of like really dense lines. All right. So for the sake of time, I think what I'm going to do is work for a little bit and then maybe come back. All right, so I did figure out how to do a little bit of time lapse. You can see me working for a little bit. So I've got my point of expansion here. I've got another one kind of going this way. I've got these kind of shapes shooting out. I think things to look for are like other shapes. So I did some hatching lines here. I crossed hatched it this way. And I got this little pocket. So then I filled that in with hatching marks. I would really encourage you to use multiple pens and think of it in layers. So let's say, for example, I switch to black. And then now I can cross-hatch this section with a different pen. So now I've got blue rollerball pen mixed with black ballpoint pen. And you get a different kind of line type. The ballpoint pen's a lot thinner and finer. You can overlap those. If you wanted to overlap again, you could even switch to like this purple kind of marker thing, and I could cross-hatch it again with a different type of pen. So now I've got 3 different types of pens all working together, all kind of overlapping to create that little pocket. So mix your pens together, and I just had the thought too, If you don't have a lot of pens, you can also mix pencil. You can even mix pencil and pen inside there if you wanted to. All the techniques that we use for pen drawing you can use for pencil too. So I've got this little pocket in the corner. I could fill that in with pencil if I wanted to. Cross-hatch with pencil too. All the techniques are the same. So as an option, if you don't have a variety of pens, you could do a pen and pencil combo. That's totally up to you. Okay, there it is. So it's supposed to be a field of different pen techniques all mixed together. So try to combine them all. I definitely recommend using multiple pens. Think of it in terms of layers. You can totally go over the top of it, mix them together. I'll post a picture of a couple of examples. Use any paper that you have. Do your best to make those points where it contracts or expands. Try to bundle them all up, make them kind of shoot out one direction and go over the top with some other pens. So it's all about mixing it together. And remember to stay patient. And I recommend working in chunks. So maybe just designate like a half hour work time. Take a little break. If you're more patient than that, keep going. But again, it's one of those drawings that you're probably not going to get done in one sitting. It's going to take a little while. Good luck. Let me know if you have questions or need help.